Hello, hello, hello. Happiest of Saturdays. We have finally made it to the weekend, y'all. Welcome to the channel. You are hearing the voice of me, Mrs. Best. There I am. Hello, in the little box. We are here to go over our weekly recap of WeTV's hit reality show, Love After Lockup. This is the Love During Lockup recap for the episode titled The Morning After. My. This episode definitely got us to a point where we can see like which couples are likely going to have a shot and which couples may not have a shot. At least that's how I felt. You guys can comment if you felt differently. We're going to jump right on into it. For those who are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am glad that you are here. The way that we do things, we're discussing it is we'll just discuss what happened with each couple throughout the entirety of the episode. So let's jump on into it, thugs. Before we do, if you can, please like the video. Be sure also to comment your opinions. I am very responsive. I would love to get conversations going in the chat, and subscribe if you really like us. Let's get into it. So we're going to start this week with Ayanna and Jamal. Oh, she's a whole bunch of stress for nothing. Kind of like Renika and Asante. You knew they wouldn't make it. They didn't make it. And the same thing is alleged with Ayanna and Jamal. Allegedly, they are not together. He's back with his ex or something. So I said it, y'all, the same way you catch him, same way you lose him. That's allegedly. Be sure to tap into the According to Amber YouTube channel. She has a lot of interviews and details with the cast of the show that you can really find nowhere else. So Ayanna is throwing a fit and she's irritated with the judge because the judge gave her 4 years of probation. She has to do 2 weeks in jail. She caught an attitude with the judge, was feeding her daughter on camera for the court instead of having her daughter ready in the playpen or something. Like, it didn't make sense. And it seems like from what I'm seeing, a lot of other people feel the same. I mean, there's no excuse. You knew you had court, prep your baby. Give her a banana, give her some fruit snacks, put her in the pack and play while you do your court date. I mean, court dates don't take that dang long, especially when you're doing it virtually. So she's throwing a fit. She's upset because getting probation makes it difficult for her to see Jamal. In addition to that, she has to go to jail. Now, Ayanna's friend, after the court date, because remember they moved it, so she has to go visit Jamal on this same day. So her friend comes to pick her up, and she is an hour late to visit Jamal already. Mind you, they only have 3 hours to visit. Now, I can understand being late because of the court date. That makes sense. But it just seems a little irresponsible. So her friend says to the cameras that Ayanna is her own worst enemy. Her attitude, blowing up, not being accountable for the stuff she does, essentially, is the problem. Even her friend is like, she got to get it together. That's why I was saying, y'all, when I say like, I understand strippers is not like what any of us want our daughters to do when they grow up, but there are some strippers who really are doing it with a purpose and do have some sense and are very good with money. Ayanna is a part of that stereotype of them who just acts a doggone fool. So, she hasn't been able to see Jamal, and she thinks that they may not let her in to visit even though she's late. And I'm just like, girl, you just terribly irresponsible. So, I don't know. She says anybody who makes it a problem with her seeing her man, meaning people working at the prison, is going to hear her mouth. She still has not learned her lesson. This is why she's in trouble in the first place. She comes back, basically. She does end up getting to visit him, and she comes back to the car and she's going off. And I'm like, was she not able to visit him? Was something wrong? Like, what the heck is this over? This heifer is crying because she was only able to see him for 30 minutes and that this is the last time she'll get to see him before she goes to jail. Here's the thing. She's acting like this is not her fault. Your court date should have took priority. You shouldn't have been driving high. You shouldn't have beat up that girl for slashing her tires after her best friend got with her baby daddy. You should have just took that L, replaced the tires, and kept it lit. But you did not do that, Ayanna. You chose to fight. You chose to smoke in the car. You chose to get mouthy with the judge. Everything that she's going through right now is her own doing. She really needs to learn how to be accountable, and I don't know if she can at her big age. Like, I just don't know if she can. So, it all comes down to this. Baby girl, you would have had a longer visit if you were on time. So again, it comes back to you. That's all I got for this heifer this week. Ayanna get on my nerves. She gets on my nerves. I was cracking up. I had commented on IG, y'all, saying, Ayana is like, she's a hot mess express. Like, teenagers have more sense than her. And all the men said, she's attractive, though. She could get every inch. I said, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Beautiful girl. And it's a shame because her beauty, we don't care about that when we see her attitude and behavior. So hopefully Ayana figures it out, but looks like she's going to have to go to jail and she's going to have to figure some things out. Moving on, you guys, we're going to move on to our next couple, which is Andrew and Candace. So Candace finds out that she can go to her apartment that Andrew got for her. She just has to check in. Now, the program is supposed to be a drug program that works with the state for people fresh out of prison. The program is like, you don't need to live here. If you have somewhere else to go, you can go there. Just check in, call every day. And she's like, well, what am I supposed to do if the state, because mind you, the county and state, those are the people who can send her back to jail. What if they come? And they told her not to worry about it. So she can go to this apartment with Andrew. She just has to check in and get EBT, which is very specific. So she's concerned because parole and probation are saying two different things. But overall, I think it'd be okay. So they go to the apartment, and the next morning, she's apologizing to Andrew for basically lacking affection with him and not wanting to have sex. I don't think that's nothing to apologize for. I mean, it's the first night. You may not want to do that. You've been locked up for some time. You're sober. It's probably a lot. So I get that. But with her, I do think it's something different and something more. I don't think she really wants him like that. So she then says what they all say who are shady, like Andy and Brittany. That's who they remind me of. I'm not over the past and the guilt for my son not being in my life and womp, 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 womp. So Andrew actually asked her, like, do you think that you can be in a relationship with me right now? And she says that she can because she needs a person that, she can lean on for support while she goes through these things of trying to get her kid back and all of these things. Here's the thing. Your choices caused you to be out of your kid's life, Candace, from the time that he was 3 years old up until now. She says her son is 11. Do you really think it's healthy for you to just jump in and get custody of him just because you feel like it? Maybe ask for visitation from his dad first. Do that. But you just coming back into his life, y'all. I work in mental health. I have a degree in psychology. So I'm just like, you could also shock the boy. That's one. Two, saying that the only reason you want to be in a relationship with Andrew is because you need someone that you can lean on for support. That sounds like codependency or like you're using him or a little bit of both. I don't think Candace is a bad person. I'm not going to say that. I really don't. I actually think it's good she's trying to focus on her kid. But I do think she's using, Andrew for whatever she could get from him. So I don't think they're going to make it. And again, according to Amber, check out that YouTube channel. She says and has reported that Andrew and Candace each have their own girlfriends. I've also seen this on the Love After Lockup Facebook group. Candace has a new boyfriend. Andrew has a new girlfriend. So they're not even together. Do better, We2B. Do better. These people ain't even together. My goodness. So moving on, you guys, we're going to discuss Joey and Michael next. Joey is in a situation. He's really in a situation. I actually felt for him. His mother, and his family's very close. I actually really liked his family. She had a brain aneurysm, and it sounds like that aneurysm ruptured or something went wrong with it, and this led her to have a stroke. She's not in the best condition. They thought they were prepping to say their goodbyes. We see Michael, who is the prisoner that is dating Joey, and he says that Joey has been isolated since everything happened with his mother's health, which I can understand. His mom was very concerned for him being with him. So if anything happens to her, he may not, in my mind, instantly, I'm like, he may not stay with Michael because it's like, one, you're in prison, but my mother passed away not wanting me to be with you. So being with you, he may feel guilty, I could be looking too much into it, but he did seem very affected and his family does seem extremely supportive. So I'm sorry to his family for all they're going through. But Joey says he wants to reevaluate being with Michael. He wants to work with his mom, meaning Michael's mother, to see if they can get Michael sober and on the right track because he's basically a career criminal who could go into jail. So he wants to, get to know Michael's family and work with the family to really prevent him going back to drugs and going to jail and all that crazy stuff. And he says that, if Michael's not granted parole, he's not going to wait. He doesn't know if he will want to. And Michael, it seems like, is being dishonest with how much time he has left with his sentence it sounds like he's facing 6 years, but Joey doesn't know that. I'm like, how are you facing something? Does that mean you're not done with court? So there's just a lot there that's shady, but I am glad that Joey is starting to reevaluate things because personally, I like Joey. He seems like a normal person. I don't see him for reality TV, but he seems like a normal person. I think he was a good choice of people to cast, especially within the gay community. I like him a lot. Um, so I don't really care for him to be with this Michael cat. That's just my personal opinion, you guys. Moving on, and go ahead if you still here, like the video. We are almost done, you guys. We have just two more couples left, and we're going to discuss Shantae and True, who, by the by, you guys, in real time, are still together. He is out and they are together. They've been posting pictures on Facebook and all of those good things. So Shantae is going to meet with True's mom and his sister. And she says that True's mom is the type that questions if she sends money, too late, like why you send the money late, what's going on with that, which is interesting because we learned at first, I was like, why is the mom so involved? And then we learned that True and his mom did not have a relationship when he and Shantae first started to date. And the reason why is because his mom is part of the reason why he got so much time in prison without parole. I said, ooh, that's messy. So, lady, if you the reason he a jail, how you controlling and why you want to be in his business of who's supporting him? That is weird. So I guess they just got back in contact and whatnot. So she was a character witness in his case, and she basically spoke negatively of her son. Now, Shantae is more nervous though to meet the sister. But she arrives to the venue, the restaurant where she meets the mom, and she talks to his mom about the fact that she hasn't visited True, because the mom is like, that's very strange, you claim to love my son but you have not visited him while he's been locked up, and he's been locked up for 13 years and he's been with Shantae for, it sounds like, a little over 2 years. So she doesn't want the mom to know the real reason she didn't visit in jail, and now I'm curious to know what it is. But we see the sister arrive and she's concerned because, as Shantae explained to us, True does not normally date black girls, and she's like, well, there's a first. And I'm just kind of concerned. Like, I don't know. I mean, they still together in real time, but I still don't trust it, if that makes sense. And it's always concerning when you have a black man, the son of a black woman. He has a sister that's a black woman, and you say you don't date black women because they ratchet. Do you feel this way because of the anger you have towards your mama for having you in jail longer? Like, now it's starting to make a little bit of sense. But I could also be digging too deep because y'all know that's how I am. Anywho, True calls and they talk to him while they're all meeting, the mom, the sister, and Shantae. And this is where the mom says to him, I just found out you're going to live with Shantae, because that's what she thought was happening. That's why she bought the house in a different state. He says he ain't going to live with her. And the sister asks why he proposed to Shantae. And what I got from this, you guys, is he's telling his family one thing and he's telling Shantae another thing. I think in case it doesn't work with Shantae, he is telling his mom, like, yeah, pack up the room for me, get this together, because he needs somewhere to go. But we know in real time he's with Shantae. I hope that they're on Love After Lockup, because they're actually interesting and I want to know what that secret is. I still don't trust no man that intentionally don't want to date people of his race for negative reasons that are stereotypical. I don't trust it. It's just weird. So we will see, but I don't really, all I know, True's hairline, he needs to cut the hair, get rid of it, and just go bald. My husband said, what is going on? Oh my goodness, you guys. Oh my goodness. So we are into our last couple. This will be a very quick recap. I appreciate everybody who tunes in and watches. We're going to discuss Rick and Samantha, the OG high school sweethearts who both got alcohol problems. Samantha's in like the minimal security, like jail camp where she could like go to work and go out into the world, but comes back and sleeps there. Um, and her and Rick have been having problems. She's very demanding, wants him to move to Idaho because she has her grandkids and all of that there. Rick does not have kids. He has his adult nieces who have their parents. You know what I'm saying? And good jobs to where they could go visit them. One of them's a CO. So, and they're paid relatively well. So it's like, I do kind of understand Samantha expected him to come to her because he's got nothing fully attaching him. But I also understand his perspective because he's on a pension. So he's on a fixed income and he can't just afford to be moving state to state. So I understand both of their employees, but they have a date night call, we learn, every like night at 6:30. And he wants to play her a song that he done wrote with his little guitar. I said, oh hell no. These people, they just old school. He done got the guitar and wrote a song. She's still stuck on him from high school. He probably had that guitar in high school and was pulling them little snow bunnies. I'm trying to tell you. Anywho, you guys, he says that he wants to let her know that he does want to get married, and he's trying to make her feel better because she's extremely upset at him for not being able to visit him. So she didn't call, and it looks like she stood up the date, but she does eventually call about an hour later. And when she calls, he sings her his little whack ass song. I'm sorry, Rick, that song was whack. That song was whack. And Rick is just wishy washy. Like, it feels the income fine, but you also got all these other old heads flirting with you and all these crazy things. So I'm looking at Rick with a little bit of a side eye. I'm like, really, Rick? That's what we doing? But he writes the song for her, and this seems to calm her down. They make up, and then for some reason he starts crying and talking about how he gonna fly to Idaho to marry Sam. So he does actually get on a plane and he goes to Idaho to marry Sam, y'all. He does. And he made a friend in the Uber who I was cracking up, the guy with the gold chain and the smile that never ended. His friend had really good vibes. But he goes to a pawn shop to get her a ring. And then he goes to buy her like $500 worth of vitamins. Even his friend, he was like, listen, I'm from the hood. I can tell you, she probably selling these vitamins or something. Because why you need so many vitamins when you a prisoner? I say, you know what? He has a point, though. He has a point, because that just didn't even make sense to have all of that going on. But I don't know. We'll see. I guess he's going to give her a ring, and I guess he's moving fast. I think he should figure out how much it's going to cost him to move and really talk with her about income and when she's going to get out and all of those things. That's just how I feel. But they are a weird couple, y'all. Anywho, that is it for this episode recap of Love After Lockup, Love During Lockup. I thought the episode was okay. If I'm keeping it honest, you guys, I don't really care for Rick and Samantha as a couple on the show. I'm not the most interested with them. I also don't care for Andrew and Candace just because it's so obvious they're not going to make it together. Ayanna, though we know she won't make it with Jamal, the fact that she's such a hot mess, she is the hot mess express, makes her entertaining. Uh, and Joey, I feel like with everything that happened with his mom, they probably should have like gave him a pause to film. But so far it's interesting. We'll see. We will see what happens. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you made it this far into the recap, I really do appreciate you. Subscribe to the channel if you so choose. We do recaps weekly, some by myself. Some of them I have a co-host, James, who is from another channel. So I do collaborate with other channels. We also highlight independent artists and do music reviews, music reactions, interviews, and things of that nature. So I appreciate everybody who supports me, from the artists to those watching our TV recaps and reviews. As always, we're going to end the live with a song by Mr. Also Best. We are going to listen to, let's find out, y'all, because I don't even know. We're going to listen to his song called Revenge Light off of his Lyssna EP, which means listen in Swedish. It is available on all platforms to listen to where music is streamed. You guys enjoy this song. The next recap we'll do is the Never Ever Mets. Love and light to you all, and Thug Life.
Hello, Sylvester. And B-Money, I see one of the early sessions today. Okay. Tell me exactly what happened. Why did you get your revenge? And how? So blessed. See the news, I was getting top sloppy. My cousin hit my bar, said the ops here robbing. That's later, I'm a cold, that's the greater here by. Was about to check in at the million lobby. I let the bitch finish what I heard had me stunned. After she stood up, felt her and numb. Nothing at 50 piece, Steph Curry drums. I got on rocks today, I guess I gotta run. And I skip to my loo when I shoot. Make a fucking suffer, shoot him once in his boo. Giggle at the fact that they start skipping too. Next brand and permanent damage you do. I done that low swipe cousin and drove. Crept on the area where they're known to roam. I spotted them, they saw us but froze. Till that clock new folded on they poach, bitch.
in a dock called Stonehenge. I ain't plotting on revenge, I just stone them. And gotta rock a shirt just to say that I got no friends. I don't even ring, my circle smaller than a peppermint. Just let them rock me bounce back. I don't hold grudges. Lately how I'm bathing in my grace. No, they can't touch it. Really peep the snakes under plates and I'm still eating. They tried to leave me dry, I made them cry and they still weeping. You could peep a hater from afar cause they keep peeking. Lately how I'm getting up top, I just keep peeking. You could peep a snake in the lake cause they keep creeping. Saying that it's up, but when they see me they just drop. And gotta up a burner, if I speak I'll leave them hot. I ain't even gotta speak why, they be knocked. Me and also that's the solution to the ops. Thinking that you honest when I think you better stop. Like, that's how I got revenge, you feel me? Like, I just didn't do nothing, man. That was everything, bodies everywhere, you feel me?
Okay, thank you. That's all the information we needed for today. I'm glad that you can get it out. And hopefully you don't have any more thoughts of revenge. Have a good week. Oh yeah.